Hello, it's time for Combat Patrol Carnage. So we're back for our final time with Combat Patrol issue 44, and there isn't a lot for us to do in this issue. So our gaming articles is literally all about mustering your army and how aircraft work in your games. So we'll quickly cover those before we dive into a game of Combat Patrol where the Chaos Space Marines and the Aeldari go at it again, but this time they've swapped out for their alternate units. So we'll see the Wraith Guard in action and the Chaos Terminators as well. But before we do that, don't forget to, of course, do all the usual. Like this video if you are enjoying the Combat Patrol content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and of course drop me a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys, goes a massive way out to push this channel, and of course I love hearing your feedback, good or bad. Finally, Combat Patrol Carnage is proudly sponsored by warbay.shop, your one-stop supply for all your hobby needs. They stock everything you need, you can get started and expand your armies. You can get your gaming essentials as well, and of course decorate your hobby and gaming areas with little decorative artworks and collector items. Finally, they stock all of the Combat Patrol issues, so if you're looking for some extra ones or you've missed out on a couple, check out the dedicated Combat Patrol section and you might be able to find those missing issues. And who knows, you can also find your next hobby project at a bit of a discount. Right, let's head to the table, check out these new rules, and then get into a nice game of Combat Patrol. So here we are for the final time with issue 44, and it's on to a game, and we're going to be having a game of Scorched Earth mission from a previous issue of the magazine. So the mission in question is, as I said, Scorched Earth. So we've got the Raise and Ruin mission rule. So at the start of each player's command phase, from the second battle round onwards, if there are 2 or more objective markers on the battlefield, the player's turn it is. You can select one of them and raise it, so basically remove it from the battlefield. You cannot select the objective marker if there are within any enemy units within 3 inches. The attacker can't select objective marker A, and defender cannot select objective marker B. You score victory points, so you don't want to raise those objective markers too quickly, but you do score 10 if you do raise one, and you score 5 for controlling one, and 5 for controlling more than the opponent. Finally, the 5th battle round, first player scores as normal, and then the last player will score at the end of their turn. So I chose this mission because it's an interesting deployment as we're setting up diagonal from each other, and we've got our objectives set out in a sort of a elongated plus there in the center of the battlefield. So it'll be quite interesting to play, I think. So yeah, we'll do that in a minute. And as I said, the Aeldari are facing the Chaos Space Marines. But first, we've got a couple of pages of core rules to look at, and then we'll set up the battlefield after looking at our next combat patrols. So into our magazine we go. Let's get the little bits of rules out of the way, and well, there we are. So our first page is all about aircraft. The airspace above a battle is often thronged with activity. Fighters and bomber craft hurtle through the skies, dueling with one another and strafing enemy formations on the ground. Some models have the aircraft keyword. The following rules describe how they operate on the battlefield. So, when you declare a battle formation, aircraft models must start in reserves instead of starting on the battlefield. Once the battle has started, aircraft models can then move on using the rules for strategic reserves. Only units that are themselves placed in reserves can start the battle embarked on the aircraft transport models that are in reserve. So you have to declare this during your declare formations step, obviously. So we've got the hover rules. So some aircraft can hover. When you're instructed to declare battle formations before doing anything else, you must first declare which models in your army has this ability. If a model is in hover, then until the end of the battle, its move characteristic is changed to 20. It loses the aircraft keyword and loses all associated rules of being an aircraft. Models in hover do not start the battle in reserves, but you can choose to place them into strategic reserve following the rules if you wish. So that's pretty cool. You can choose to have your vehicle or immediately hover and enter the battlefield, or you can change it during mid-game. And I believe you need to be in hover mode in order to disgorge your troops from your hold, so that's an important rule. So your aircraft movement phase, so must move a minimum of 20 inches, can make a single 90-degree pivot, and can move off the board edge, being placed back into strategic reserve. So for movement and other models, you can never be really engaged in combat range, so you're free to make any moves even if there are enemies within 1 inch of you. Models cannot move within engagement range of an enemy aircraft, but can move within engagement range of it. But cannot end a move within engagement range. Can move within, but can't end their movement. Models can move over aircraft when they make any kind of move. So yeah, basically ignore aircraft for all movement purposes, but you still can't be within engagement range of them. Aircraft in the charge phase, so cannot declare charges unless you have a rule that states otherwise, like some of the Tyrannid flying creatures can. Aircraft is only eligible to fight if it is within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units that can fly, so you can sort of fight with other aircraft. Again, most notably, there's going to be creatures that are alive, so the Tyrannids, Harpy, or the Chaos Helldrake, etc. And even our winged Tyrannid Prime has the fly keyword, so he can target aircraft if he wants to. So, next up then, I think there's still a few more rules. So we've got rules about disembarking and stuff with aircraft yet to be covered, so that'll be in a future issue. But maybe not, because 55 and onto 54 onto 55, as we start looking at mustering your army. So, how to muster your army? This is very simple. So you start by choosing your battle size. So either Incursion, which is 1,000 points, Strike Force 2,000, or Onslaught 3,000. Or as we'll be playing most commonly, Combat Patrol, which is roughly 500. So start your roster. So you create a roster by choosing your army, then adding your units to it. So you can get blank rosters from Warhammer community. Select your army faction. So this will usually be the main army that you're playing, or it could be a sub-faction of that army. So like you might want the Ultramarines faction keyword. Then you select a detachment you want to build your army around. Some detachments have limitations or restrictions, so sometimes specific units you have to take, etc. You then select your units, so you must have at least one character unit, and then you can choose, I believe it's up to 3 or any other unit to go with them. But when building your army, you can only include a unit if it has the same faction keyword that you chose as step 3, you have the points to add it, and your army does not already contain 3 units of the same datasheet, with the exception of battle line or dedicated transport units. Only characters can be given enhancements. You cannot include more than 3 enhancements in total. No unit may be given more than 1 enhancement, and each enhancement, including your army, must be unique. Epic heroes cannot be given enhancements, and you cannot include the same epic hero more than once. And a rule here that I overlooked actually in my last game with my Grey Knights that I should have paid attention to. So every dedicated transport unit from your army must start the battle with at least 1 unit embarked in it, or it cannot be deployed for that battle and will be counted as destroyed in the first battle round. So yeah, my Razorback didn't have anybody deployed in it, so I'll have to remember that next time I use it, which is good because it does carry my Purgation squad and they are very close range orientated, so getting them up the battlefield would be a lot better than sitting back and slugging it on foot. And the final thing you do is select your Warlord, so this will be usually your best character leader unit. Sometimes you might have the restrictions that you have to select a specific character to be your Warlord, like Gobute Gilliman, as he is the Primarch of the Ultramarines, he must be your Warlord. So there we go, that's our rules out of the way. Let's take a quick look at our next 2 issues. So we've got 45 then, our next squad of Orc boys. So we got the Boss Knob here with a Slugger and Power Claw, And we got a little bit different detailing on his back banner, so we're painting things different colours. And instead of the big shooter, we got the rocket launcher there for our heavy weapon boy. And yeah, the rest of the models are pretty much identical to what we've already done. Then in issue 46, it's 2 new paints, so Stormhurst Silver and Night Quest of Flesh. So we are looking at adding details to our models. And while I was having my tea break before filming this, I actually read the article, and it does say that the guides are completely optional. You don't have to follow them if you don't want to. So that's kind of nice. I think that's the first time we've actually seen it say that it's completely optional for you to do it. Yeah, it's nice. It goes through the Space Marines and the Aeldari, updating them with the 2 paints in this issue, plus Calgar Blue from the previous deliveries issues. And yeah, it updates them all to be quite nice. So adding highlights to such stuff like gems, armor, levers, and of course metals. So there we go. Right then, let's bring in, of course, our battlefield. We'll set it up and we can get on and have a game of Scorched Earth. Right, here we are all deployed, and it's going to be pretty close deployment zones as we literally have the entire half of the battle map to deploy on. So up first for the defenders, we've got the Chaos Terminators up at the top there. We've got the Chaos Space Marines half, close combat half of the squad with the Dark Apostle there. The Hellbrute here hiding behind a crate, so he's not going to get picked off by any big heavy weapons. And our second squad of Chaos Space Marines are ready to move on to the objective here. For the Aeldari then, we've got 2 squads of jet bikes being split from the main squad there and there. The Guardians at the centre and the Wraith Guard over here, ready to again move on to objectives and pose as a threat to enemy forces. All we have to do is to roll to see who gets first turn. So here we go. Ooh, Aeldari do. So this is going to be good. They're the attackers and getting first turn. Sweet. So again, as last time, we're not using any faction abilities as we don't learn the Chaos Space Marines one until issue 46. So won't be able to use that at the moment. And I have a plan for the next combat patrol game. It's going to be the Aeldari, and it's going to be facing the Tyranids as the Aeldari get their full faction abilities. So facing off against the Tyranids will be quite an interesting matchup, I think. But on with the game and into Aeldari turn 1. So I've done movement off camera, which is going to be something I'll be doing going forward, as it takes up quite a bit of video space. So jet bikes have just shifted a little bit closer so they're in range of their guns. Wraith Guard have moved up to take that objective. Guardians are sitting still for the moment, and this squad has gone up to claim this objective and also shoot at the Chaos Space Marines. Speaking of shooting, we get 4 twin shuriken shots from this squad. Closest target, so re-rolling 1s. Oh, there's a 2 we can't re-roll. But we've hit 3 times, wounding on 4s with twin linked. Twin link coming in there. 3 wounds on Chaos Space Marines at -1. 4s. Oh dear, that is a dead Chaos Space Marine, and yeah, I'm not going to waste a command point this early on to save just one little dude. Sorry. 6 shots then from the scatter laser. Same target, re-rolling 1s to hit because they're the closest target, into another miss. And wounding on 3s for a strength 6. Or wound again. Oh dear. 4 saves on the Chaos Space Marines, but this time they're 3 up. I forgot to mention there's a bit of noise in the background. That is my fan going as it's getting a bit warm down here. It's a rather muggy and hot day today. Oh, yeah, there's another dead Chaos Space Marine. Yeah, I'm not going to be taking battle shock yet, so I'll take that loss. When I start getting down to serious position of losing guys, I'll then take the saves. Right. Just checking, am I actually in range of the Wraith Guard? 18. I am, even the back guy's in range. Sweet! Sorry, Chaos Space Marines, you're the next target. Terminators, even. Actually, speaking of Chaos Space Marines, no, but not actually in range for two Shuriken catapults. So we'll do that. 2 Shuriken catapults at the Chaos Space Marine squad, both missing. We'll then use weapon platform to go at the same squad, both hitting and 2s. Ouch, failing 1. -3, so 6 up save. No, the Dark Gods weren't too happy about that. So splat this guy. That's pretty much all they can do. Farseer can't actually do anything. Oh, I did forget to do command phase though. Let's do it on camera because I got to roll. I remember this time. 2+, yes. So Fortune is off on the Guardians. Make it a bit more durable. And she can hit the squad with Eldritch Storm, 24. Yeah, perfect. Hits the Apostle. So D6 shots for, ooh, the big 6. Hitting on 3s. Not very good. Can't wait for faction abilities because I get better, I get rerolls on psychic attacks. It could be pretty good. Strength 6, toughness 4, freeze the wound though. And that's 3 wounds. -2, needs a D3 damage each. So first one is a fail, so D3 damage. This could kill a guy. If it stays in the tray, it doesn't, it wounds a guy. Cool. Second save, also failed, D3 damage. This is the big 3. Overkill. And the final save is also a fail, another D3 damage. 2, that's another dead Chaos Space Marine. Oh dear, this isn't looking good for Chaos. Already lost half the Chaos Space Marines. Not looking good indeed. Wraithguard then shooting their big guns at the Terminators. So hitting on 4s. Only the 2. Wounding on 2s though. Yeah, that's wounds. And -4, so we don't actually have our invulnerable save, which is kind of annoying. The Chaos Terminators are lacking a lot of their rules. No invulnerable save, no faction interacting rules like the rerolls for Dark Pacts, etc. Man, these guys have really been nerfed. So in that case, it's -4 on a 2+ save down to a 6+. But the Chaos Gods are smiling on the Terminators, at least for the moment. Finally then, the jet bikes over there, 2 shots on the twin Shuriken catapults. They're not an objective, so I can't get all rerolls. Wounding on 5s with twin linked. 3+ saves, because -1. Of course I fail against, this happens to me all the time in my Grey Knights. I always fail light weapons fire. So one guy's taken 2 wounds. 6 shots from the Shuriken scatter laser hitting our closest unit, so rerolling the 1s. Still missing. Wounding on 3s. 3 saves, 2+ this time. And that kills our first Terminator. So turn 1's only begun and the Aeldari are in a model-wise good lead. So yeah, on to Chaos turn 1 and I'll do the movement. Okay, Terminators have moved up, the Chaos Legionaries here have moved down to the objective, and this squad stayed still and the Hellbrutes moved round. So we'll begin the shooting. We'll go same way Aeldari did, go up the board. So we'll start the Hellbrute Plasma Cannon D3 shots for 2. Hitting on 3s. Of course I miss 1. Actually no, re-roll that. I'll still miss it, damn it. That's a wasted command point. But wounding on 2s with strength 8, toughness 4. Yes. And while I've got the wrong colour dice in hand, hazardous, while I'm thinking about it, I'm fine. So, get off. I mean, you might be dead anyway. So, -3 jet bikes count as cover. So, they're -2 instead of -3, so down to a 5 up. Nope. And it is straight 3 damage, so I think we'll remove, yeah, I have to remove this guy, otherwise we're going to be out of coherency. The Chaos Space Marines, so 3 shots on the heavy bolter first, hitting on 3s because it didn't move. And wounding on 3s, strength 5, toughness 4, yes, 2 wounds, -1. Both fine. And 4 shots on the heavy, from regular bolt guns, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s, just the 1. No AP. 3 up save, saved. Right. Everything into there. The melter should be in range at least. Yeah, just. Melter gun, hitting on 3s. Hits. Wounding on 2s. Wounds. -4. So that's no save. And 2d6 damage for 2, so that will kill another jet bike. Plasma pistol then misses, but doesn't look like I didn't overcharge. And finally the Legionary Apostles bolt pistol hits, wounds, doesn't save. Only a single damage though. Then the Chaos Terminators. So we'll throw the Reaper autocannon. We'll probably have the better chance of damaging the Wraith Guard, while the combi bolters will go into the jet bikes. So just one in rapid fire range, so that'll be 8 shots with the combi bolters, hitting on 3s. Ooh, not doing too bad. Where's Dark Pact when I need it? Because I had some 6s there, lethal hits would have been nice. And wounding on 4s. Still pretty impressive wound rate. 4 of them, minus nothing. And they shrug them all off. That's fine, I just wanted to threaten them. Make them think twice. And then finally the Reaper autocannon. 4 shots, devastating wounds and sustained hits. Sweet, so 3 to hit. And it doesn't do very well. And to wound, it's going to be toughness 6, so 3s. No. Okay. On to fights it's going to be. Terminator's going to need a good 8 inches, and this Chaos Space Marine squad is only going to need 6. So we'll do them first. And new phase, so we have got a command point to use on the Terminators. So Chaos Space Marines first, they get the 6 they need. And the Terminators are needing the 8. Oh, they're fine with a 9. Nine will get him to there. 9 will get him to there. 9 will get him to there, and then they can pile in. So with that, it's onto the fight phase. So we'll pile in. And the apostle will go over to that way, his disciples go that way, and the melter gun will go there. I'll do the terminators and it's their turn to fight. So, first off, Dark Apostle, as per usual, is going to be trying to steal the kill. 5 attacks with his Crozius, hitting on 2s. Or wounding on 2s, so strength 6. No, it's not going to be 2s, because it's toughness 4, so wounding on 3s. So 4 saves on the jet bike at -1. So down to a 4-up save. And no, that's 2 fails. That's him gone. He only had the 1 wound anyway. These guys can consolidate because it'll push them onto the objective, but sadly in a position that the Guardians are going to gun them down. Oop. Pile in for the Terminators, 1 to there, 1 can get to there, and he can get to there. So everyone's going to be in base contact. So we've got the Chain Fist first of all. I believe the Chain Fist is still alive. Yes, I got him right at the back. So 1 Chain Fist, 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. Wow, all of them. Wounding on strength 8, toughness 6, freeze. Let's reroll one of those. Yay, into a success. So I need to get a wireless mic. 1 wound -2. So 4 up. Ooh, failed. 2 damage from a Chain Fist on 3 wounds. So 1 guy's on 1 wound. So 2 Power Fists then at 3 attacks each. Hitting on 3s, because apparently Power Fists are easier to fight with than Chain Fists. But 1 guy still misses. And also wounding on 3s. These all wound. So 3 at -2 again. Down to 4s. All made. Cool, up to the sergeants or champions accursed weapon, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s, so only strength 5 against toughness 6. 2 wounds though, nice. So again, it's a -2, but only 1 damage this time. So we could kill a guy. We don't, because 4+ is what they need. Speaking of what they need, it's their time to fight back. So they need 4s to hit with 3 attacks each. So that is 15. 5, 10, 15. So this guy needs to pile into there at least. And I keep moving the objective marker. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s, so tough 5. And strength 5. No AP, 4 wounds. 2+ armor save. All made. So that fight's going to stay, well, fighting. And with that, that's the end of Chaos turn 1. It's on to the second turn and we can start scoring points. So, here we go with Aeldari. Turn 2. Okay, and the Aeldari movement phase. So we've scored 5 points for controlling the 1 objective, as it's 5 to 4. We have moved up ready to control the secondary objective, and the Guardians have abandoned cover to try and pick off the weakened Chaos Space Marine force here. So on to shooting phase. We've got a lot of command points we can burn, so let's do Smite first. Well, not Smite. Eldritch Storm, but yeah, definitely spending a command point to reroll that 2 into a 1. Fantastic. Hits on a 3. No. Wow. Singing Spear. Hits on a 2. Yes. And strength 9. So 2's the wound. Oh, come off it. 2 shots on the plasma. 1 misses. 2's wounds. Minus 3. So 6 up armor. Nope. Let's try it. Command reroll, I need to keep him alive. I do. Sweet. Now I got to weather 20 shuriken shots. Ow. So, sorry, Wraith Guard, I'm going to have to steal your current wound marker, and I'll put 2 tokens down. Boom, boom. I need 20 dice, 20 shots, hitting on 3s. Ouch, that's abysmal. Wounding on 4s. That's just as bad. We got 5 wounds out of 20 shots. Minus 1 though to those Chaos Space Marines, so this could kill a lot of guys. 4 plus, 1 wound on the Melter. And 4 plus again, he's dead. Last 2 saves on the Champion, who's on 1 wound. I've got tokens, it's easier. Oh dear, not going too well. And the jet bikes are going to... Ooh. Yeah, they're all in range. But I believe they're only in range. And this front guy's definitely in range of everybody. But the shuriken catapults are only really in range of those 2 guys there, and they are not within 2 of a unit. So in the Chaos Command phase, they are going to be killed because they're out of coherency. Let's kill them off first. They're not the closest unit. And 4's the wound. 1 wound. Minus 1 down to 4 up. Yeah. Bye-bye, Champion. And I don't have any Chaos Command points to spend. And now the Scatter Laser. If that Chaos Champion wasn't wounded, I would have definitely took them off the Apostles guys, but Scatter Laser into them, everything hits. And Strength 6, Toughness 4, so freeze, and everything wounds. Ouch. Alright, so 4 up invols. Let's do them one at a time. Saved. 1 guy dead. 2nd guy dead. So now the last 3 can go on the Apostle, who has a 3 up armor save, which is better. And he still takes a wound. But his little buddies are no more. I hate to say it, but I think Chaos might be conceding before we even reach turn 3. But the Terminators might yet turn things around, who knows. Guardians will because they want to claim that objective, charge into that poor apostle. So 7. We'll get the furthest away guy there, so everybody else will definitely get in range. So I can't get the... Yes I can. I'll get the fast sealer piled in that way, so he's in base contact with somebody who's in base contact. That means the only guy who's not going to fight is this guy on the weapon platform. So charging units fight first. We'll do the fast seer with her spear. 2 attacks, not 4. One rolling 4. Hits on 2s though, both hit, and we'll wound on 5s. No. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in base contact. So 9 attacks. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s. No, 5s, because they're strength 3. Just the 1. No AP, so 3 up armor. Saved. Chaos Space Marines to pick a unit, so we'll go straight to... Excuse me. We'll go straight to the Terminators. 3 attacks from the Chain Fist. 1 hit, and it wounds. -2, so 4 up save, made. 6 attacks from Power Fists. Freeze the wound, so 3 wounds, -2 again, 4s. Oh, we failed 2, so 2 damage will kill the wounded guy. And then 2 more damage on the next wounded guy. And finally, 4 attacks on the Cursed Champion's Power Sword. Hits twice, wounds on 5s, wounds once. -2, 4 up, no. 1 damage, that's enough to kill the wounded Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard will fight back, 9 attacks. Hitting on 4s. Only 3, wounding on 4s. 2. Minus nothing, so 2 up saves. Saved. Dark Apostle is going to bonk some Guardians. He does with 5 bonks. And these are toughness 3, so wounding on 2s. He misses 1 bonk. And he hasn't got a command point. So 4 bonks have gone through. At -1. 4 down to a 5. 3 are Kaputski. And that's it for Aeldari turn 2. They're in a good position. But it's over to Chaos Space Marines, so let's do the movement. I'll be right back. So, after command phase, we have luckily scored ourselves 5 points because due to killing the 2 Wraith Guard here, this guy can pile in, I suppose, 3 inches in his victory phase. We now have 4 to 3 on the objective control there. We've now moved up the plane this one, and it's on to our shooting phase. So we'll kick things off with the Hellbrutes Plasma Cannon. D3 shots for 2, I'll take it. Hitting the jet bikes on 3s. Yes. I forgot the bonking stick of the Apostle should have been 1 less, so he wouldn't have wounded as many times on the Guardians. And every time I do Fortune, I forget it. 2 wounds, so 2 hits, sorry. Wounding on 2s. Yes. -3 3, so 6s. We saved 1. 1 goes through for 3 damage, so it kills a jet bike. Sky laser, goodbye. Heavy bolter will hit on 4s. Oh, fudge. Ooh, but it's getting a sustained, so it does have all of its hits hit. Wounding on 3s. All of them. Nice. -1 on the jet bike, so down to a 4-up. That's another jet bike gone. Actually, no, it might be both jet bikes gone. Heavy bolter is 2 damage each. That's both jet bikes gone. Unless the Aeldari, yeah, they will, because they got plenty of command points. Come on. Yes, 1 jet bike is alive. And about to get 4 bolt gun shots in the face. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. 1. 3-up save. Saved. Okay, that's fine. We got a bolt pistol from the chaplain, hitting on a 3, wounding on a 5 this time. No, 4 even this time. Fail, either way. Remember fortune now. And that's all the Chaos can do for shooting. On to combat. So Aeldari pick a unit first. Wraith Guard will be fine. Let's do the Guardians against that Apostle, because he could end us. So Farseer first with a spear. Both hit. And 5s. Ooh, we got 1. Let's command reroll. I know it's 0 AP, but it's 3 damage. Ooh, both go through. If he fails, he saves. That is 6 damage and he's dead. Mind you, if he fails... Yes, if he fails at least one of these, he's dead because he's already took 1 wound. Nope, he's passed both his armor saves. That's fine. So then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Guardians. And I feel like pile in. Yeah, weapon platform, go 3 inches that way and get in. So 7 Guardians plus a weapon platform. That's 8 attacks with close combat weapons. Hitting on a 3, because apparently even a grav platform can hit you pretty well. Wounding on 5s, so higher. Only the 1. Saved. So Apostle is going to be fine, so we'll choose the Terminators. So this guy gets to pile in there, he gets to pile in there, and he gets to pile in there. 3 attacks on Chain Fist, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s. He's getting better, that's 2 wounds at -3, no, -2. 2 up down to a 4 up. Made 1, failed 1. You know what? Actually no, so we're still in the combat phase, so I can't reroll. So that is just 2 damage on a Wraith Guard. Next we got 6 Power Fists. Oh, didn't hit as well. Wounding on 3s. Only the 1. 4 up. 4 up. No. Another dead Wraith Guard. And finally 4 attacks on the accursed Power Sword. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s. No, nothing. That's fine. Aeldari to pick a unit. The only unit left in combat is the Wraith Guard. 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds, minus nothing. 2 up armor save. Saved. And now 5 attacks on the Apostle, bonking Guardians. Hits on 2s, wounds, normally on 2s, but down to 3s, because of fortune. That's 4 saves, so let's start... No, I want to keep the plasma cannon alive, because if we're getting out of combat, we can shoot that hell brute. On the Guardians then, -1, 5 up save, 3 dead. And that is it for Aeldari, Chaos turn 2. And yeah, things are starting to shift in their favour. The Aeldari though do still hold more objectives than the opponent. So on to Aeldari turn 3. Finally end the command phase. Fortune on the Guardians. Yes, it's off again. Sweet. So for command phase, other than gaining command points, the Aeldari have scored 15 victory points as they controlled this objective. Because the Dark Apostle only has objective control 1, but they got objective control 6 there for the 3 Guardians in range. We have raised the objective over there so that nobody can hope to claim it back, but we're gonna most likely die. Movement phase I forgot to do. Vainglorious Death. We're gonna not get too close. We're gonna make them work to kill me, I think. So, on to shooting. That's the only unit that can shoot 2 shots of twin catapults at the closest enemy unit who are on an objective. And wounding on 4s with twin linked. Just the 1. -1, so 4 up save. Failed. Wound the guy at the back there. Only other shooting is a shuriken pistol from the Farseer at the Apostle. It hits. Strength 4, so 4s, no. And with that, it's on to the charge phase. No charges. That jet bike, like I said, is going to make those Chaos Space Marines come towards him and hopefully lure them away from the objective. So, Aeldari's turn, so Chaos picks a unit to fight first. We will take the Apostle. Hitting on 2s. Ooh, missed one. Wounding on normally 2s down to 3s. We'll command reroll one of those fails into a fail, so only the 1. -1 command point. Oh dear. 5 up save. No, 1 more dead Guardian. So we'll do the Wraith Guard before they die. 4s, followed by 4s, 2. Again, 2+ saves, all saved. Now it's on to the Chaos Terminators. That's the only Chaos unit left to fight. Chain Fist, which needs to pile in first. Hits once, wounds, yes, -2, so 4 up save, saved. 6 Power Fist attacks. Only 1 guy has hit. Wounds on 3s. Ooh, loads of 6s. Nice. 2 at a time to kill Guardians. 4+, 1 dead. And 4+. No, 2 wounds on the other guy. And 4 attacks on the Power Sword, all hitting. Need that roll again. 5s and 6s, please. Just the 1, which would be enough to kill it, especially if it fails to save. It took them a while, but the Chaos Terminators have eliminated the, and will consolidate around that objective, ready to do some damage in the next turn. So speaking of, it's our turn next. Let's do the movement. So we've done the same as the Aeldari. We've raised the objective that we were on in this half of the board. So now there are no objectives on this half of the board. So we are 20 points to 20 points, but it's looking like there's not going to be many Aeldari left. So without further ado, shooting phase, heavy bolter. First at the jet bike, only hitting the once, and not even wounding. 4 bolt guns then at the jet bike, hitting twice, not. Well, one of those didn't properly roll, so wounds once. Free up save. Saved. Hellbrute Plasma Cannon, as he's got no other target. D3 shots for free. Hits on 3s. Wounds on 2s. 1 and hazardous. Nope, hazardous for last time because I forgot. Nope, sweet. 1 minus 3, so 6 up save. Nope, that is him dead. So Chaos Terminators have nothing to shoot at. And to get in a charge, they're going to need a 9. So let's try it, because I've got a reroll. We get a 9. So that gets the champion at least in base contact. And everyone else there. So he can pile into there, he can pile into there, and he can pile into there. And as they charge, they get the fight first. So, Champion's Power Sword, hitting 3 times, wounding this time is going to be 2 3s. So, a lot. Minus 2 on the Guardians is down to a 6 up save. Made 1, failed 2. So we're down to, let's take that one away and then take that one away. So over to the Apostle then. Actually, Aeldari better pick a unit, so they've only got the 1 unit. Farseer's Spear, both hit, wounding on 5s. Just a 1, minus nothing, saved. 2 close combat weapon attacks, because he'll pile in to Apostle. Both hit. No wounds. And now the Apostle gets to strike back. Hits on 2s. Come on, reroll that 1. And wounding on 3s instead of 2s. Only the 3 wounds, minus 1. So, weapon platform first. Saved. Failed. And failed. Weapon platform's dead. I forgot I was going to charge Hellbrute in, but it's going to be a kind of a hard charge. You know what? Aeldari are resigned to their fate. Let's try it. Yes, he gets what he needs, so he gets to there. 5 attacks on the Hellbrute Hammer then. 4s to hit. Oh, he only hits the once, so he's done absolutely nothing to this combat. But it does wound. Minus 3, so no save whatsoever. Our last Guardian is dead. And yeah, Aeldari turn 4 is going to be them conceding. So projecting the victory points, the next turn we're going to score 10, and there's no more than, actually no, there's 2 objectives, so we can raise the final one that we can choose to raise, which is this one. So yeah, we'll score 5 and then 15, pushing us to a 35 to 20 lead. So there we go, Chaos Space Marines have won the rematch on Scorched Earth. Well, not on Scorched Earth, but the rematch against the Aeldari. So we'll bring in our board. So Aeldari the attackers, Chaos were defenders, so tick there with a win for Chaos. And there we go. So there we have it. That's it for issue 44. All that's left for me to do then is to say thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time for more Combat Patrol Carnage. Goodbye.